All right. So today we're going to do a role play with Rocio, and we're going to talk about those clients that just say, I'm doing fine. I don't need the life book. I don't need the habits of health. So let's dive straight in. So Rocio, how has your week been going on program? What's going well?
It's good. I'm losing. I feel good. I feel that it's working. I think I'm doing everything well because the scale's moving and like my jeans feel great. And in fact, I got rid of a whole like bag of clothes and my friends are asking me like, what the heck, you have energy. And so people are totally noticing too. I'm so excited that like, but um, yeah, like everything's great. So thanks for the call, but like I don't have anything to share besides that. And yeah, and like, can you do we have to meet every week? Like you mentioned, you mentioned we have to meet every week. I'm like, I just don't think I need that. Like, I'm so good. I'm so good. I
I'm so
feel great.
I'm so glad to hear that. No, we don't have to, but honestly, like this is really more my accountability for you as well as also walking you down, a little bit closer. We're trying to focus on long-term health and keeping this off. So, like how important is that to you? Because right now you're in fat burn and I like to tell everybody you've got like this protective bubble against you. So the longer you're in fat burn, if you think about like blowing a bubble and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and
Mhm.
bigger, like
Mhm.
you're so supported right now because you're not exposed to the real world. So think about like this huge bubble head, like protecting
Yeah.
you. Now, when we get you out of fat burn, there's going to be exposure to the real world again and making choices and making decisions and portion control and all of those things. So let me just ask you a question. How important is that to you that you get to keep this weight off and not just lose it right now?
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's high up there. I'm not gonna gain it back. Like I'm not. I know I'm not. I've totally like I got this, and it's not an option. It's not gonna happen. It's that important to me. But I feel like I got it down. I totally know what I'm doing.
Good. I love it. I love it. So what do you think some of your plans are going to be for after weight loss to be able to keep that off?
Um, I'm gonna keep eating healthy. I'm gonna keep like I I I'm gonna I don't know if I'm gonna like how many like fuelings I'm gonna get, but I know that because just finances and stuff. But I know I'm gonna drink water. Um, I know that you taught me to like be mindful at holiday parties, and so
I
I
love
that's my plan.
You know what? And you sound like you are doing amazing. So I'm super proud. You've got super strong mindset. You're so on top of it right now. If I can just offer you a little shift in perspective for a second, because I've
Okay.
been doing this for like 8 years and
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people in the same exact boat. And I know how busy you are and all of the things, but I would encourage you that we start talking about what life after weight loss feels like because it is a little bit everybody, because again, talking about that protective bubble, as soon as we start allowing specific foods back into our life again, the
Mhm.
cravings start, the habits start. So I'm just saying this from a place of love because believe me, I've seen it in every which way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
Um, I would encourage you to kind of start diving into the education. Have you gotten a chance to even dive into any of that yet? Because I know that's been something that hasn't necessarily been a priority.
No.
Okay, so how about this? If you're open, are you open to maybe starting to explore what life is going to look like after you lose your weight?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fine. I don't think I'm gonna gain it back, but if, I'm kind of hearing that there's something maybe I'm missing, but I feel like I'm fine.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And most people do. And I'm just looking out for your best interest. Why don't I just do this? If you can carve out a half hour this week, I would love to send you a recording on Transin from one of our recordings, and then we can regroup next week for just a quick call. I totally respect your time and I know how busy you are. And if after, you watch it, you don't see value in it, then, we just take it from there. But I love to just feel that I'm doing my job and making sure that I'm setting you up for the best success. So I'm going to
Yeah.
send you a half-hour call, and maybe you can watch that. Let's regroup and just answer any questions, because right now we're focusing on weight loss. I would love to shift the perspective and start talking about what life after weight loss looks like, because you are fine and you're rocking it. You're killing it, not just rocking it, you're killing it. So
Thanks.
you're doing fantastic, but let's shift and start projecting into what a year from now is going to look like, right?
I didn't think
After
about that.
6 months from now is going to look like. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. Let's reassess and see if you saw value in that. And then we can take it one baby step at a time. So I'm going to send you the recording, and
Okay.
then let's connect next week. Do you have any questions?
So I don't need to touch my life book because that thing's
Yeah,
heavy, and there's that other book too that.
all good. All good.
Okay.
Let's just watch the recording first. And then once we learn a little bit about transition, then we can dive into the life book after that. Here's the deal for me. We don't want to do anything unless we see value in it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bombard you with 20 things that you're closed to saying, I don't see the value in it. Let's have
Yeah.
fun with this. And
Yeah.
I think actually that call is it's very beneficial, because it's going to help you to start thinking and making a plan. Because unless we have structure,
Yeah.
then we fall into emotion because we're not prepared. We don't have the right foods on hands. Right now, you are super solid and secure because you got a month of greatness that's delivered to your doorstep every month. And
Right.
you really just need protein and vegetables. Now,
Yeah.
once we lose our weight, we're going to have to do a little bit more thinking and a little bit more preparing. And that's where I just want to set you up for the best success. So let's just take it baby step at a time. And I'll send you the recording, and I can't wait to hear what you think of it. Sound good?
Sounds like yes, it sounds like a plan. Now I know. Now it sounds like there's going to be a lot of prep work that I'm not aware of yet, as far as like long term. So that makes me nervous but curious to watch this video, because I don't want it to come back. And it's kind of sounds like you're saying that it's possible if I don't learn how to move forward correctly. Because yeah,
Yeah.
now I see it.
Yeah, it's really, the more we prepare ourselves for what's coming is the best success. But if it just gets the best of us and we don't make the preparedness and plan ahead and prepare ourselves for what's coming, then life gets us instead of us taking it over, right? So
Mhm.
that didn't really make sense. But anyway,
No, I got you.
we just want to walk into it feeling solid and just prepared and knowing. So it's not to instill fear, it's just to help us walk in and be more proactive into the situation. So anyway, I'm excited for us to connect and hear your takeaways. So we'll talk next week this time.
Cool. I really now look forward to the video. So thank
Good.
you.
But you're so welcome. I hope it brings you great value, and I'm excited to hear next week.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, what takeaways do you have from that call?
I love that I I'm very I speak glory, and I always use the phrase set you up for success, because I find it's so valuable. Those words, they find value in those words, therefore they should be it opens the door for them to find value in what I'm going to send them. And so really emphasizing that I respect your time, I respect your busy mom, a busy woman, busy dad. And so emphasizing those things are really important. And excuse me, but just sharing the fact that there is that potential. Like I remember you mentioning to me, not for me as a client, but to another, to share, like, how soon do you want to gain this back? Never. Why would you ask me that? I don't want to. I don't know if you heard me say I want to, but like so emphasizing that. And what would you say? So what about clients who are leads who never even got their life book?
So then we awaken them slowly. And it's those questions are, how committed are you to keeping your weight off?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, have them give you a number. How committed are you to keeping this off forever?
Yeah.
10. Okay, great. So let's focus. I coach to the life book. and let's get that, on your next order so that we can have some, this is what we coach. This is the comprehensive program that we are. So
Yeah, I love that.
a couple things I wanted to touch on is that this specific client was a little on the closed side. Okay, so I'm not going to pile on 20 more things that they need to do, right?
Yeah,
So this person's closed, so
yeah,
I'm just like one little thing. It's easy to put in a 30-minute call this week to listen to, right?
right.
But if I say
Yeah,
do this and get into the life book, into the habits of health, and we've got
yeah,
our webinars, and we've got the client support community, and
a
we've
lot
got
of pressure. Like I already don't want to do any of that,
yes,
thinking of that.
yes.
Like, so
But this is easy. So we need to drip into their life, drip,
yeah,
drip, drip. The goal is we want them to see value of taking our calls, because this person said, do we really even still need to meet because I'm doing totally fine.
right.
My job as a coach, I just want to bring you value. If this isn't bringing
Yeah,
you value and you're being closed, then you're not going to see. So that's why I was like in my mind thinking, what's going to give this person um, a reason to why they want to get on a call with me.
right. Because it didn't even make, I forgot all about it. I forgot I didn't want to meet with you next week.
Yes, yes. So I could
Because
have
you
been like,
invited
oh,
me.
okay. I'm sorry I'm bothering you. Like I could have,
Right.
coach, like an
Yeah.
insecure coach would have been totally offended by that. And like they said they don't want to talk to me. Like I don't,
Right.
hey, that's fine. Just call me if you need anything. No,
Right.
like I want as a coach, I want to know that I gave everybody what the best that I could have given them with what they were giving me the opportunity to. How
Yeah.
open was the door, right? Your door
Right.
was like maybe this much. So I thought to myself, what is going to bring her a reason to want to see value in my call? And
Yeah.
that's taken them from where they are now in the happy land of that burn. You
Right.
don't know this. When that bubble is popped, and now you're like, there's no protection mechanism in the world. It's like exposed. I'm
Right.
exposed to this and I'm exposed to this. Now I'm like, oh, what do I do in this world of cookies and brownies and alcohol and this and that? Like,
Yeah.
we have to set them up for success. So if we posture that and show them little by little by little, it'll awaken them. It'll build a stronger bond. They're
Mhm.
going to now want to talk to me because
Mhm.
they're like, oh, well, that was kind of cool. I learned something from that. And then
Right.
I pinpointed something that would show them value. So it wasn't like, well, you should really get on the Wednesday night webinars. They're every single week at 5:30 and
Yeah.
definitely make sure you put it in your calendar. I would never say that to somebody who's closed.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
not, they're like, I don't see the value in it. But
Right.
I picked something, I'm like thinking in my arsenal of all of the things I have,
Yeah.
what's one thing that would get their attention?
Right.
And she's like, I love this. I'm doing fine. I don't need you. I don't, but what's one thing she hasn't thought of? How am I going to keep it off forever?
Right.
Then I'm like,
Absolutely.
let's talk about transition. That's one little thing I can awaken her to get a conversation going that she would want to take my call.
Right.
Okay.
And I
And
love
you
too
got,
that, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
That you, I think my initial thought would be to remind them in a living way about the four components, like and how they're all equally as important. That's where, when we first get trained and whatnot, like you definitely want to encourage this is how I saw it when I first started coaching. Like you encourage them to sit with a notepad, to take notes, to be available to watch the YouTube recordings. But the reality is you meet them where they're at. If it's while they're washing dishes, then it's while they're washing dishes, because podcasts, that's an option, but it doesn't show video. And so anyway, I just love that you didn't bring back like, well, shame, remember, I'm as equally as important as your feelings. So thanks for showing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to think about, I will ask them sometimes, are you a reader or are you more audio type person? Like when you
Right.
would you choose audio or would you choose an actual book? And so if they're more audio, then I will tell them to do the podcast. Again,
Sure.
I'm awakening them. Of course, the video on YouTube is a heck of a lot better. And of course, live is even better than that. But we need to meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody that likes to take a walk, or if they have a long commute to work, then say, that's perfect. I will tell a brand new client, honestly, sometimes if it just depends on how open they are. Sometimes I don't even tell them we have live webinars on Wednesday night. And the reason why is because I would rather hand feed them the webinars to get them
Yeah.
into, and I think that's, I have pretty good successful integration with my clients. And it's, I think because I do meet them right where they're at. I'm not
Right.
bombarding them with, okay, put this in your calendar. You have to be on it. And it's amazing. It's going to make all the difference. And we got to get the life book one page a day. And we got to do this. We got to do this. One little baby drip, drip. We don't want to fire hose them with everything. We want to give them one drip at a time. So then, like for a brand new client, like in their very, I'll place their order. I'm going to say, I'm going to send you element 1 while you're waiting for your box to arrive. So you
Yeah.
get a glimpse of our community. We meet live Wednesdays, but we've got an entire library of recordings. People are the most excited while they're waiting for their box to arrive.
Mhm. Right. That's a
You
great
got
time.
100% full attention.
Right.
So what you get to do is say, you know what, I'm going to send you the library. Here's element 1.
Why
And
not the intro?
you could do the intro as well.
Okay.
I just kind of like getting into the why.
Sure.
It's just kind of like the meat, like kind of,
Mhm.
but it's up to you. You could do whatever you want,
Okay.
whatever you feel is the best fit for that person. But at
Right.
least we get them into like, oh my gosh, I'm excited about this. Like this
Yeah.
is going to be super cool.
I
We
love that.
want to elevate the frequency. So, and then let them know if they're audio or if they're too busy. I say, just listen to it while you're brushing your teeth, out of the shower, cooking dinner. You
Mhm.
can multitask this.
Right.
YouTube, you got to sit in front of the computer for a half hour. So
Sure.
we want to awaken them slowly, and then you're going to start seeing they see value of it, they see the difference, and then they're going to want more. So
Right.
anyway,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for doing this with me.
Of course. No problem.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.